Welcome to Let's Chat, episode 7. I'm David Berry and my co-host Graham Cooper. Mate, how are you?
Well, mate. Always well. Friday.
Absolutely love. Our favourite day of the week. We get to talk rugby, talk about rugby in Western Australia and abroad. Let's crack on. We're going to go straight into the Premier Grade results from last week. Huge couple of games throughout the weekend. First up, we picked this early. Wanneroo taking on the Coastal Cavs down at Lark Hill. They got the win 27-7. I think we knew that was going to come. Wanneroo was just starting to build. They played some decent footy against some decent teams and taking on the Coastal Cavs, good win for them.
Yeah, mate. We've spoken about the Wanneroo pack being a pretty solid platform for them this year, and then coupled with a few inclusions like a Palmer foul scoring a hattie on the weekend also helps out. So huge performance on Palmer coming back from injury from the force.
I think Wanneroo will score a few more tries with him in the side too. He's an absolute gun. Moving on, Joondalup hard-fought win over Kalamunda up at HBF Park, 24-19. They also reclaimed the Rugby WA Cup as Kalamunda had won it back from Arcs in late 2019. I love how that cup manages to still circulate around the clubs no matter who's on top of the table. Kalamunda are mid-table and obviously made the grand final a couple of years ago, but it's great how that cup still manages to traverse around the competition.
Yeah, I think it gives every game something to play for, especially those teams that might be out of the race or mid-table or lower end. An upset brings them a bit of silverware, which is always good. So.
Absolutely, and we love playing for silverware. Another one on that, Sheldon Tawara was apparently absolutely on fire. We know how he can play. Played some Per Spirit previously. Super player. One of the players you want to have in your competition in rugby because he's just lifts the level when he's a gun.
Looking big and fit as well.
Yeah, big boy at 10 as well. Woo-wee! Perth Bayswater, a really comfortable win over Arcs there, 32-12 down at Harrisdale. Good win for them. I think they'll win a few games this year. They'll beat that lower echelon of the table, and I think the forward pack is always sort of a real front for them, and I think they'll be all right this year.
Yeah, mate. I think that's right. The Basie boys there, second on the trot, and then rolling into Curtin this week sort of gives them a bit more momentum into the back end of the year.
You're right, momentum and confidence too, which is important for teams like Perth Bayswater. So good on them. Great to see Arcs get a few points on the board this week. Russ Burgess, we love you, mate. Keep working hard. You're an absolute superstar. Moving on, really close game here, but I think you've got some inside info. 17-14 UWA getting up over the Southern Lions at McGilver Oval. A lot closer scoreline than we thought.
Yeah, bumped into Alex Steiker in the gym last Friday, and he mentioned that they had about 6 or 7 guys out. Scoreline's most probably a little bit closer than they would have expected there, but got the win nonetheless.
Comfortable to know you're in the gym there, mate. That's good. Just let all the viewers know you've been in the gym. Yeah,
Alex,
not about you,
not
mate.
so much.
Not about you. Netherlands, big win. Now, I touted this as Palmyra getting sort of back on the wagon after a pretty heavy loss to Cottesloe. Well, not heavy loss, but one they probably thought they would have won. Going down to Netherlands 29-12, which is very surprising to me. Doesn't sound like they played the best of games, but also Netherlands have bounced back.
Yeah, mate, I think a couple of inclusions. Mikey Botas at 9, steering the ship there really well. I think Pally could have played their game the previous week against Cott and just couldn't get up for this one, I don't think.
Yeah, it's probably a good point. But it's good to see Netherlands back and they're playing some really, really good footy, which is great. We want to see a nice, tight top 6 of the table this year. Next one, big one, the Battle of Broome Street. Huge day down at the Boneyard, Associates home ground last week. About 1,500 people turning up. It was fantastic. We were down there. Just amazing to see the swell of support. It almost felt like a final down there on Saturday, just with so many people. And Rugby WA did such a great job at building this game up that I think there probably would have been usually probably 300 to 500, but 1,500 people turn up was just awesome.
Yeah, mate, great afternoon, good weather. Obviously, Ladies' Day down there at Soaks. They put on a really good show. The bar was jam packed.
The champagne tent was popping off, so to speak. No pun intended.
Stop it. But mate, yeah, I have to admit, great day, but even better game of footy, to be honest. Both teams went hard at it. I think, though, I guess performance of the round, I think, goes to Cohen Mason in this one, mate. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, Cott getting up 27-17, and he was a big part of that. He's a young Kiwi guy that's come over from
France,
I think. Yeah, he's been in France playing some really high level footy. and he just looks effortless out there. When he gets the ball, it looks like there's no one around him. And he's been probably consistently in their top 2 best players for the first 4 or 5 games. So I dare say that PG Hampshire right now is well and truly in his pocket if he can keep fit and stay on the field. Yeah. He is a superstar. But just on that, Cottesloe getting up 27-17. That's a big win for them. They've now won 2 big games in a row. If they can beat UWA this weekend, they're well on their way to taking that top spot. And the last game of the week, West Scarborough with a just huge win over Curtin. 91-7. Haven't seen a scoreline like that in a while. Looks like an AFL game, but Curtin Uni just not quite up to the task of taking on the Boars.
Yeah, mate. Couldn't turn up, unfortunately.
Wanted to lift the bat, just couldn't quite get there.
But a couple of special mentions. Louis David, 4 tries, and Josh Timmy Mona. Apologies if I got that wrong, mate.
Good job.
Bagging a hattie there as well, so... Yeah,
and a few sore shoulders, I think, from Curtin with Kane Kateka back out there. He only played 40 minutes and made the team of the week. So just to show you what kind of form he's in. And I dare say over the next few weeks, there's going to be some very, very sore bodies with him running around. So big weekend of rugby last week. Another one coming up. But before we get there, let's talk the Western Force. They went down 24-0 to the Brumbies last week. Disappointing effort. It was interesting in that first half. I mean, the Brumbies scored 2 insane tries in the first 10 minutes. That, look, not a lot the Force could do. They were just, they were perfect, basically. There was not a single mistake made in the tries. Offloads were insane, and Tommy Wright out in that wing is just on absolute fire. But the Force really threatened in that first 20 minutes, but just couldn't quite make that next step to get that ball over the line, and that's where it really hurt them.
Yeah, I think it just shows the level of the Brumbies, especially in their D. I think the other teams, Reds, Waratahs, and potentially Rebels tonight, don't have the defence like the Brumbies do, and we sort of lacked a bit of structure in attack in regards to trying to penetrate the line. We went a little bit too laterally in that first half and lost our way a little bit, I think. Yeah,
I agree. But it was great to see the guys come off the bench in that second half and have a real impact. I thought Richie Kahui and Kyle Godwin just changed the pace of the game a lot. And I think that's probably why we'll talk about that team in just a bit, but that's probably why they're in the team this week. It's just because they came on and provided just that extra excitement, extra effort that Tim Sampson wants to see from his midfield. So.
Yeah, 100%. Bit of direction. Like I said, Richard Kahui loves running the ball and running it straight, never hurt anyone.
Yeah, he looked like he'd never missed a day of Super Rugby too. He was fantastic. The one guy we've got to talk about though, Henry Stowers. Just unbelievable performances the last 2 weeks. 20 plus tackles 2 weeks in a row. And not just low rap, get up, go. He is absolutely smoking blokes. He put young Locke Frost nearly into the next suburb. He's just such a powerhouse, and he's a barometer for that team at the moment. When he's up, the rest of the team's up, and you can't help but, I think, feeling confident when you look to your right and Henry Stowers is on your right.
Yeah, mate. He obviously, last year playing rapid rugby and also going to the World Cup with the Samoan guys has obviously really lifted his confidence this year.
Yep.
Mate, and at the moment he's the first pick every week for this Force team, I think.
Totally agree. Right, moving on. Big game tonight. Western Force taking on the Rebels at Leichhardt Oval, live on Fox Sports and KO. Massive one, mate. Couple of big ins. We just spoke about the WA Golden Boy, the Adonis, Kyle Godwin, back in the starting jersey. Fantastic to see. Welcome back, Kyle. Well deserved. Very excited to see him and Richard Kahui team up. Just an absolutely pepper that Rebels midfield.
Yeah, mate. We talked about sore shoulders in the community game. I think Billy Meeks is going to have sore shoulders this week trying to tackle both these blokes. So.
Yeah, shout out, Bill. Big fan of this show, so thanks for watching, mate. But really looking forward to seeing Richard Kahui just slice through you tonight, mate. Pet Cowan, another one very excited for. Big man, I think over 100 caps for the Force, just a stalwart, first year player as well, or second year, I think, 2007 or 8 he might have come over. Just a terrific guy, fantastic scrummager, back in the Western Force side. You'd never probably thought you'd see Pet Cowan again in a Western Force jersey, and I'm pumped.
Yeah, mate. Talking to Ridian Lewis, team manager, saying that Pet being back in the team's really lifting a few blokes. Good guy to have in the team, good morale booster. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see him back. Get out there, Pecker. And the last one we just wanted to touch on, Angus Wagner, really disappointing, injuring himself. Really, really bad hamstring injury last weekend. He's been absolutely incredible. Another fantastic signing from the Force. Seeing a guy not really getting an opportunity and thinking he's got the potential, bringing him in, and he has not looked out of sorts at all playing Super Rugby.
No, mate, he's most probably been one of our best scrummages this year. Obviously, taking it to
Taniela Tupu.
Thank you, David. Last weekend against the Reds, and earning a couple of penalties against him is massive. And his work around the breakdown as well for a front row is pretty fantastic as well. So, mate, hopefully the recovery is quick and we see you back on the field ASAP.
Absolutely. Well, we know this is a big game. The Force taking on the Rebels. Traditionally, always a very hot, rough, hard contest. Massive rivalries between these teams. And as we've done every week, we've got a rivalries video that is put together by the Western Force. Fantastic, where we get to sit down, talk to the players about what these games mean to them, and the Rebels is no bigger than the rest of them. It's huge, right? It's a massive game, so check it out.
It's us or them. Yeah, I don't need to say there's definitely going to be no shortage of feelings out there.
There's always been quite a rivalry between the West and the Rebels. A lot of ex-Western Force players are now currently at the Rebels. That could be the reason why there's a bit of feeling involved.
It's been simmering along all night, no doubt about that.
The history of 2017, I guess, sort of created this rivalry. I think adding to that, having a lot of our players go over there, that's still in the back of your head and it's still the back of your mind. And, there's certainly knowing them a bit more, probably be a bit more niggle out there and sort of players and mates going at each other.
Ooh, led with the shoulder.
When I've talked to a few boys and when everything went down over here and then talking about how much it hurt them, and then now we have this ability, now this opportunity to go do it again. And they get that chance. They get that chance to live that goal that they wanted, that they had and they did see, disappear. We have been able to rise from the ashes, we've been able to rise up and create this rugby program again and create a great team which is going to be able to go over there and compete.
I'm sure plenty will be made in the outside media about the game, but all we can really control is how we train, how we focus, and you wouldn't want it any other way than to compete at the highest level and to compete really hard.
Look, people's opinions are people's opinions. On any given day, any team can win. But the most important thing is to know that every single player that puts this blue jersey on, they're going to go out there and they're going to give 100% because they know why they do what they do. The reasons in this team for the guys to play well and succeed at this level are really high.
Well, there you go. Massive game coming up tonight. You can see how much it means to the guys. Huge Friday night footy. Speaking of Friday night footy, Belt Up Colts. How good playing Friday night footy in WA. So if you don't really feel like watching the Force, you feel like you want to get around some club rugby, we've got 3 massive games on tonight. We've got, two. UWA taking on Associates at 6:40pm, and then Perth Bayswater versus Kalamunda at 8pm. Huge games.
Mate, great, under lights, can't get much better. UWA will have the Force game on in the clubhouse as well, so
beautiful.
Roll into the Force game, then into some two games of cracking Colts footy.
Love that, under nights, that's beautiful. Coops, let's move on. Premier Grade fixtures, Fortescue Premier Grade fixtures for this week, some really good games. First up off the ranks, we've got Wanneroo taking on West Scarborough up at Kingsway Reserve. I say this every week, I really like the Wanneroo side. I love the forward pack, and I just think they're going to really push a few teams this week, and this is a team they would love to beat in West Scarborough.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Obviously, the West's backs at the moment are red hot. Obviously, Louis and Tim bagging a heap of tries last week. Is it going to rain on the weekend, Dave? Because I think it could be an evener this week if it does rain.
Look, I think Friday we're looking at maybe a bit today, possibly this afternoon, but it's looking pretty clear. So it might mean Louis David's, the human wrecking ball, is going to be scoring a few tries again. But we'd love to see Wanneroo go up there. Big mention, Mark Cornell playing his 100th cap for Wanneroo. Huge effort. 100 caps in any grade is amazing, but 100 cap first go games. Well done, mate. Good luck.
Mate, huge, both brothers actually. His younger brother turned up last year. So
Wowza.
Good to see that both those boys are, I guess, stalwarts down at the club and all the best, mate.
On the Cornells, up the Cornells. Next up, Kalamunda taking on the Coastal Cavs out at the Bullring, Kalamunda, Hartfield Park. This will be a good game. I don't know where to go on this one. I think Kalamunda will get up at home in front of the home crowd, but Coastal Cavs are putting some good footy together.
Yeah, mate, I really want the Cowboys to get up here just for the morale of the team. Obviously, Cruz Arnoux, first-year Premier Grade coach up there, would really want these boys to start winning some footy matches. They've got a good side, good front row.
Yeah.
They just need to be able to put it together for more than 40 minutes. At the moment, they're a little bit hit and miss in that second half.
Yeah, totally agree. Good luck to both teams there. Next up, big game. Cottesloe taking on UWA. Two very informed teams. I think undefeated still at this stage, both teams as well. Out of the nest at Harvey Field. If UWA can get a few injured players back, they're a chance. But at this stage, I can't see anyone beating Cottesloe. Quick mention as well, forgot to mention earlier in the game, Rory Edwards, the scrum half, back in the starting team this week, came on for the last, 25-30 minutes of the Battle of Broome Street last week, scored a double, was incredible, just really lifted the team. He's in great form, so he's back in the starting side. But Harry Scoble and his UWA men in green are going to really need to put up a big performance against the men in blue.
Yeah, I think their back row, it's their biggest game of the season for them. Really need to put Cohen Mason to bed early and obviously keep that cop back row quiet.
Yeah, big game for O'Sullivan, big game for Connor O'Sullivan, 7-on-7, we love that. Next one, this is also a huge game, I love this. I feel like every game's huge, but Palmyra Associates, this is an absolute cracker. Once again, we saw Palmyra put in a really dismal performance last week against Netherlands. They would want to win this one against Associates, and it's really important in terms of the table too. So, look, if Palmyra turn up like they did last week, Soaks will have this in the bag, but I dare say they might bounce back this week.
Yeah, agreed. At home, hard to beat the Palms at home. Obviously as well, the Soaks team getting up for last week and not getting it done. I think Pally's going to win this on the buzzer with a penalty kick to win.
Oh, big call, Graham Cooper. All right, sir.
No pressure to the ref, by the way.
Yeah, no pressure. Call it though, call it. Come on. Southern Lions v Arcs next up out at Success Sportsplex. Southern Lions should get this one in the bag. They'll be really pumped to get a win on the board. Arcs just, get out there every week and put their heads down. Like I said, Russell Burgess, just a champion of the Fortescue Premier Grade. He's just getting in there, probably laying about 40 tackles a game and just doing his bit, but I think Southern Lions will be too good out there this weekend.
Yeah, agreed. Just missed out on beating that UWA team last week, the Southern Lions boys. I think they'll get up this week too. Joondalup
taking on Netherlands up at HBF Arena once again. Joondalup, I think, are now 3 on the trot, played some good footy, and Netherlands coming off the back of a very good win against Palmyra, although I reckon Netties will get their brothers this weekend.
Yeah, agreed. Rugby WA Cup up for grabs after Joondalup won it back last week. Home game for them. So, yeah, I think Netties will win their first piece of silverware for the year.
Yeah, sounds
this
good.
week.
Should be a cracker. Match of the round. We've got the Numbats, the mighty Perth Bayswater, taking on Curtin Uni at Pat O'Hara Reserve. I think Perth Bayswater will look to put 40 to 50 points on Curtin this week. And 3 on the trot for the Numbats too, which they'll be very happy about. Like we spoke earlier, just good for them to get some momentum. 3 on the road, no matter who you're playing, is exactly what you want for your club. So I think Perth Bayswater will take that match of the round this week, but that'll be live on LMSC, Rugby WA Facebook as well, so make sure you tune in. That'll be a cracker. Mitch Hardy just screaming down the microphone. I'm loving what he's doing at the moment. He's absolutely killing it. But we spoke about the WA game earlier. Our TMO clip of the week is an absolute ripper this week. Young Harry Scoble, he was actually in that Rivalries video that we just playing for the Force about 2-3 years ago. Really good WA footballer. He had a pretty red-hot game on the weekend. And Coops, can you tell us a little bit about this one, mate?
Mate, talking about being at the gym, the UWA boys are obviously in the gym because this one we see Harry Scoble actually lift a player off his feet while carrying the football. So have a look. It's a cracker.
have it, Harry Scoble. Also, technical error there. We decided to play the cot try once again because we thought, why not? It's so damn good. It's had 100,000 plus views on the Facebook page. We thought, give it one more go. I love the goal, so I'm not mad about it. But Harry Scoble, mate, jeepers. Yeah. He's lifted that by 10 metres and nearly scored the try, by the way.
Mate, yeah, I can't believe it. We
have you ever seen it before?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, that's
talking about a bloke that does heavy lifting for that footy team, he literally did the heavy lifting last week.
Yeah, correct.
Jonah, I think the Southern Line bloke's name, mate, yeah, you might need to get in the gym to put on some weight.
Yeah, a couple of kilos there. You can't be doing that, mate. Before we go, just want to mention our very first sponsor on the Let's Chat show, Cambridge Corner Store, on the corner of Cambridge and, I can't remember the other one, in Floreat there, just across the road from Sunday. Fantastic little cafe. Probably the best pie in Perth, I would have thought.
Mate, 100%. All pies.
So good
beef
to have you on board.
rendang.
Yeah, the beef rendang is hot, real hot. Thanks very much. Coffee's fantastic. Love having a sponsor.
Yeah, how good.
Fantastic.
Get on board, come on.
Thanks, Cambridge Corner Store. That's all for Ep 7 of Let's Chat. We'll be back next week talking all things rugby. Thanks for joining us and we'll see you soon.